He says that a ghost had with him.
What the
Like in Ghostbusters, that kind of it? Or like,
Yeah, I think so.
like a
yeah.
full-bodied apparition?
did he was it to completion?
Yeah,
or-
did he finish? That's what we want to know. What happened?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Maximum Zach. On today's episode, we have Will Carsola. He's the creative director of Liquid Death, and he's the creator of the show Mr. Pickles. It's about to be a good episode. We talked about Mr. Pickles. We talked about when Nicolas Cage crashed one of their rap parties. We talked about crazy S&P notes. We talked about ghost farts. Let's get into it.
Black Widows.
Yeah. Dude, one time I'd never seen a Black Widow in my life. But I was like living in this house, and it was somewhere here in LA. It was like near Culver City, and randomly we saw a Black Widow in the house, and we were trying to kill it or like get rid of it. Because I was like, dude, I don't want this here. And literally it just ran into a closet, and we never knew where it went from then. So then I literally slept downstairs that night. I didn't even sleep in my room. I was like, yeah.
Yeah,
Who knows
so
where
every
that's
time
at?
you're going to try on a shirt after that.
Yeah,
That happened to me once. A big-ass spider was on a shirt I was putting in. I was like, threw it across the room.
That would suck. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name is Will Carsola, creative director, artist at Liquid Death, and co-creator and artist behind Mr. Pickles on Adult Swim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how did you, I guess, like, draw? I don't want to, like, so, were you always drawing and stuff when you were a kid? Did you just, like, how did you get into that?
You know, it's funny. I remember being in the second grade, and the teacher wanted us to draw Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Yeah.
And I remember drawing whichever one the moose was. It's Bullwinkle, right?
Yeah.
No, or is that Rocky? I don't know. It's Rocky.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I remember drawing him.
Yeah.
And being like, oh, I can draw.
Yeah, yeah.
And I found that drawing a couple months ago when I was
No way.
back home in Virginia at my parents' house. I was like, Mom, this is the first
Yeah.
drawing I ever remember.
That's
doing
so
it.
sick.
But yeah, I was always drawing like funny pictures of my teachers, trying to make them look ugly. That's where my like Mr. Pickles character style kind of derived from. And yeah, it just kind of, developed over time, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely got in trouble in school for drawing pictures of teachers so many times.
Yeah.
Like, I was like one of the first times I got in school suspension, actually. Like,
Do you still draw?
Not that much. I mean, yeah, I really don't that much at all. But I like to, though. It's always fun trying to make like characters of people, or just make them do weird things.
We should trade a drawing at some point.
Oh, I'm totally down for that.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm super down. Yeah, because like I remember I had this one teacher with like buck teeth, and like I made a picture. I was making pictures for a long time, and leaving them around the school.
Same here. Yeah.
And it was clear who it was.
Yep.
And then they found them, and they were like freaking out. They're like yelling at me, and because they like found like all these pictures in my notebook or whatever. And then they gave me technically I think it was in school detention, but yeah, it was for a little bit. It sucked. Couldn't go on a field trip. Didn't get to go to the water park with everyone, even though they forgot that I wasn't allowed to go to the water park, but I was still allowed to go.
That's awesome.
But yeah, that
I want to see these now.
yeah, I need to do that. Yeah, good. So, when did you get like? How did Mr. Pickles come about?
So with Adult Swim, we pitched a live action version and an animated version of a show, and they liked the animated version. And I've been doing a lot of live action stuff and some animated stuff, mostly just for fun. Did a couple things for Comedy Central.
Yeah,
my focus was mostly live action, and then really once Adult Swim was like, we don't like this idea you're pitching, but give us something else. And one of those ideas was Mr. Pickles. Then it was like, I was just going down the path of animation for almost a decade. It was great. I mean, Mr. Pickles was so fun. I really got in the zone on that thing, and it was like felt like the cartoon I was born to make in a way. Old towns and weird demonic dogs coming together. But
I'm really interested in what the live action version of that would have been.
Yeah, I mean, we've joked about it.
Yeah.
Doing some kind of play or something.
Oh, that would be so funny.
I mean, I would have a lot of fun doing like a live action sheriff.
Oh, yeah. Because
I do his voice.
Oh, yeah?
That's the only time I've ever done stand-up was as sheriff while wearing like a sheriff mask. Just telling bad sheriff jokes.
That's amazing.
I wish I could remember them. But.
So, were you always like because you said you were making live action stuff, were you always into like filmmaking like in general? Or when did that come about?
No, yeah, maybe from like 21 on. I went to school for painting and got into video and stuff. And there weren't really college classes where I was going to art school that, could teach me what I needed to learn. So I kind of dropped out in my senior year to teach myself and learned how to edit. And then shortly after that, learned how to animate.
Yeah,
so,
how was that?
I mean, so of course, like my ways of doing things are kind of unique and DIY. It's like I was animating with Photoshop and Final Cut Pro, which I've only met one other person who's animated that way.
Yeah.
When I tell animators that I used to animate in Final Cut Pro, they're like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. So were you going like frame by frame? Like how was it?
No, not really. Kind of, sort of. I mean, I was able to kind of puppet things.
Yeah, like puppet tool.
Yeah, but not really the ideal way to animate. But,
I
was just exploring and having fun and trying to make, myself and my friends laugh. And it's a longer road to get to actually making a show, but yeah, I guess it worked out in the end.
Yeah, no, it definitely did. So tell us a little, so where'd you grow up again?
Virginia.
What was it like growing up in Virginia?
Lots of woods.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to kind of I remember being bored and just walking out in the woods and like imagining that I was like a ninja and karate chopping dead trees.
That sounds like a lot of fun, actually.
And then like having just watched a bunch of Friday the 13th movies, like the sun would be going down and I'm alone in the woods and it's time to head home. And I kept looking behind me, expecting Jason Voorhees to be back there.
Just expecting something to be like following you.
So like, I think I'm kind of fascinated by trees and woods, and I'll watch a movie just if there's a lot of trees in the trailer. I don't know. It's like something about the woods to me is like equally beautiful and scary,
Yeah.
Because you don't know what's out there.
Oh, that's very true. It's like sort of how I feel. I like seeing the ocean, but I'm afraid of what's in there. You don't know, dude.
Yeah. There's like animals way down deep that we don't even know about yet.
Yeah, like for real. Like, oh my god, like there's probably megalodons down there. There's probably some crazy prehistoric stuff.
Megalodons are crazy. I found a megalodon tooth when I was a kid, actually. It was like that big.
That's gnarly.
Yeah. But where I grew up, you could actually find megalodon teeth, like shark's teeth.
Oh, yeah?
Like millions of years old along the Potomac River.
Oh, no way.
So I kind of grew up doing that a lot as a kid. And yeah, there's a lot of cool things about Virginia. I lived in California when I was 6 and 7. So when we left California, I was kind of bummed because I was like getting into skateboarding and garbage pail kids and, kind of becoming myself out here. And then it was like, hey, let's go back to Virginia, like in the dead of winter with like
oh no
snow everywhere. I was like, what the fuck? But I mean, when I was a teenager, I worked at a gas station, and I think a lot of the characters from Mr. Pickles are inspired by characters
the people that came in. Yeah,
like, I remember this guy like barging in and you know, like telling me like I shouldn't sell a certain soda anymore because it shrank his penis, and like, you know, like it was like there was some interesting characters that came in
what
there.
soda was that for the listeners at home?
I can't remember.
That's funny.
But yeah. But yeah, Virginia's great. And I spent my 20s in Richmond, and that's where I went to art school and got into like making music videos and sketch comedy, animation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you what kind of music were you into as a kid?
As a kid, I was into like I think my first tape was like the Fat Boys, old school rap like that, and then it was like glam rock phase with like Poison and Guns N' Roses. No, I don't think I ever listened to ZZ Top too much as a kid, but one Halloween when I didn't have much time to come up with a costume, I did go as ZZ Top. I think I just
yeah. That works.
I was like, all right, I'll dress up. Yeah, put on a bandana or something on my head. And
that works really well.
Yeah. Yeah, and I got more into like, I mean, I grew up in a small town. It was like when I was a teenager. It's like I didn't even know that music beyond what's on the radio existed.
Yeah,
which was kind of funny. Like, you know, like getting out of the small town and like, you know, starting to listen to like Misfits and stuff, and in Richmond, you know, so many great bands came out of Richmond, like Municipal Waste, Guar, Lamb of God, Veil. So Richmond definitely had a big effect on me coming from a small town.
Yeah, like growing up in Indiana, like there was like nothing going on like either. So like there was like not a lot to do like at all.
Yeah,
so
it's the same kind of thing.
Yeah, same kind of thing. You just end up like just doing, like I ended up making videos and stuff to just, you know, be able to like have something to do, and like it was just fun. Like my friends and I would just have fun doing it, you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I have a 4-year-old son, and sometimes I wonder, I'm like, you know, is he going to be better off growing up in a place like that?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. It's like there's kind of a charm about growing up in places where you have nothing to do. You like discover things that you might not otherwise.
Yeah.
But,
that's pretty interesting. Like,
I don't know.
I don't know if it helped me or not. Like, I really don't know. It's probably working against me somehow. But like, oh man,
Indiana's cool. I rode a motorcycle cross country in like 2016. I went through Indiana. I can't remember where the hell I was. I was starting to get delirious at that point in time. But
that sounds sick though. Like, so where did you start at?
I started here.
Okay.
I went from here to Virginia.
Sick. What kind of motorcycle was it?
It's like a 2002 Harley Springer Softail.
Okay.
And I hadn't been riding for longer than like 6 months.
Oh, no way. You just decided to go like a long
It was a little
tour.
ambitious.
Yeah, ambitious.
It was great, though.
Yeah,
Indiana was beautiful. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I literally asked, like, what kind of Harley? Like, I knew a bunch about Harleys. Like, all I know is Harley Davidson Fat Boy. That's it. That's literally it. Because my uncle was, like, super into Terminator 2. Well, he was into Terminator in general, but, like, it was, like, I technically think, like, the motorcycle that Schwarzenegger was riding in the movie wasn't actually even the Harley Davidson Fat Boy, but it was a different thing, but it's very similar. So he got like the most similar looking one.
What a great movie.
Yeah, that movie is so good.
See, it's like that and Evil Dead 2 are like the only two movies I can think that are better than the original.
Yeah.
Like,
Terminator 2 is so sick. I rewatch it a lot actually.
How many are there now? Like,
dude,
17.
I don't even know. You should look that up actually.
Actually, I will.
Like a
new show just came out like 2 days ago on Netflix. It's
is it an animated
Terminator show?
Terminator Zero or something. It's good. It's like real good.
Okay,
really?
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Like good?
Like good.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that to be nice. It's real good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Wow.
6 movies.
Dude, we need to get Edward Furlong on here too now. Dude, that just reminded me. I'm gonna have to like DM him or something.
That'd be awesome.
Dude, that would be so sick.
Yeah, he was great in Terminator 2.
Dude, he had so many movies like early on that were just bangers. And
What were his other ones?
Detroit Rock City.
Oh, yes,
that was sick. Even though I wasn't really like super into Kiss that much, I still love that movie. That movie's amazing. What else was there? There was what's it called?
he was in the Crow 2 or 3 or something?
He might have been.
I don't acknowledge any crows after the first one.
Yeah, he was in that movie with Edward Norton. Oh my God, he plays this little
American
brother.
History X?
Yeah, American History X. Yeah.
Yeah,
He was in that.
And I gotta go back to see like his old. Okay,
Yeah.
Terminator 2 was the first one he was in.
Yeah, class. Amazing first movie.
Oh, that was his first movie?
That was his very
That's
first-
insane.
And then
He's
after
having to
that-
live up to that, dude.
Yeah. Well, he went to Pet Cemetery 2 after that. So like,
Okay.
you know,
He only did 2. Like,
for some reason his IMDb also has Edward Furlong Japanese hot noodle commercial 1. Edward Furlong Japanese hot
That
noodle
makes
commercial 2.
sense.
Like 92 was a big year for hot noodle commercials.
yeah.
Brain Scan? I don't remember that one.
Yeah.
Me either.
He was in the Terminator 2 attraction at Universal Studios. I don't know if you remember that. The live action one. It
Okay.
was like a 3D show, and then like somebody came through the screen, and the Terminator was in the audience with you. And it
Oh, that
was
sounds
rad.
rad.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying he had to be there all the time.
Oh, no. Well, he wasn't doing
Like,
much,
he's
so-
doing like a live thing.
He was like and enjoy the ride, guys.
The Crow was 2005, by the way. Wicked Prayer. That was the one he was in.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I just watched that recently. That's a crazy
Yeah.
movie.
I just saw the new Crow.
Is it good?
It was
Yeah?
okay, it's definitely not like the original, but like it was fun. Like kills were awesome in it. Like that was pretty sick. Like they, it was modernized like a decent amount. I feel like a lot of people that really love like the original are not gonna like. I've seen so many people say they don't fuck with it, but it was still fun. It was still fun for me to watch.
I feel like I haven't seen a really good movie in a long time. Barbarian was great.
Yeah.
My friend Zach made that.
Oh, that movie was sick. That movie is really good.
It was so good. I was
Yeah.
super impressed with it. You did a great job on it. And yeah, I love horror movies, but it's so rare that a good one comes across. Like,
Yeah, I really like Talk to Me. That was good.
talk to me. Which one is that?
It's like a A24 movie. It's like where they have this
Oh,
hand
the
thing.
hand.
Yeah,
I've been wanting to watch that. Is it good?
Yeah, that one's good. That one's pretty good. Like that actually, like when I went and saw that in theater, because I was like, I don't know how this is gonna be, and it ended up being like so good. It like blew me out.
All right, I gotta
Yeah.
watch that.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
I heard the Long Legs movie. It's really good too.
I saw that too.
Yeah?
That was good. That was good. Nicolas Cage is he seems to be doing well. Like, he's getting all these crazy parts, dude. The funniest thing I saw Nicolas Cage. He got cast as John Madden in a movie, and now like they're not even filming it yet, and he's already like doing like method acting, and like he was just walking around Hollywood like in a fat suit. Yeah.
And we back in the day, I think it was our season 3 Mr. Pickles rap party. We were like doing it at some random bar in downtown somewhere, and Nicolas Cage shows up. We were like, oh, fuck. And one of the people that worked with us was like, sorry, you can't come in. This is like a closed event. And we're like, no, it's Nicolas Cage.
Let him in. Yeah.
And he chilled for like a drink or two and then just dipped out. It was crazy.
That's so wild. Yeah.
He was great in Mandy too. Did you
Yeah,
watch
I actually
Mandy?
haven't seen that. I need to check that out.
Oh man, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I've heard that
10
one's
years.
good.
It's really good. I wouldn't say it's horror, but
Yeah.
it's just really cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that
Overall.
one out.
Yeah.
But yeah, did you ever see that Nicolas Cage movie where it's like just making fun of like what was that called? Do you remember?
The one with
Pedro Pascal.
Yes,
Yeah,
I loved it. I loved
yeah,
it.
that was
Good.
great. Yeah,
Yeah, it surprised me. I didn't watching the trailer. I was like, I don't know, maybe.
yeah. No,
But
that was
it was
fun.
great. It was fun. Yeah.
That was a fun one.
And then the one he did about the pig, I really liked.
Yeah,
it's called Pig, I think.
Yeah, it's called Pig. Yeah. No, I've heard a lot of good things about that too. I just haven't seen it. I need to check that one.
What's your favorite movie?
Favorite movie, dude. I don't know. Like, so I love horror movies, but like I was more like when I was like growing up. I guess like nostalgia factor type stuff for me. I was like just really into comedy. And I mean, I really like the Blues Brothers a lot. Like,
loved that. Me and my dad watch that all the time.
I love the Blues Brothers. Is so sick.
I think my dad had cats named after that movie.
Blues Brothers 2000, not so much. But
you don't like John Goodman?
I like, dude. There was like the longest time that for some reason I didn't like John Goodman. But like
he's great.
And then when I watched
I'm writing that in my notes right now. Zach does not like
dude,
John
he's
Goodman.
a good actor.
It was
That's
probably
the title
like
of this episode.
You watched him on Roseanne or something.
Yeah, I think that's literally the only thing I had known him from. And then when I saw him in Righteous Gemstones, I was like I was like, dude, he's so good. Like,
yeah, I remember seeing him in some Coen Brothers movie with John Turturro, where he like,
or was it like the one where they're like in prison, or like they're running away?
He was like the devil or something. He was or a preacher or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's this movie called, I think the movie Brother, Where Art Thou? Maybe. Or is that a different one? Is that Coen? Is that a Coen movie?
Was he in that?
That is Coen Brothers, but I don't think he's in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Was it Barton Fink?
Might have been Barton.
I think it was Barton.
Yeah, he was great in that. I think from that moment on, I was like, oh man, he's a rad actor.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I mean, favorite movie, like I like Blues Brothers a lot. I really liked like Chris Farley movies, just in general, like Tommy Boy and Black Sheep and all that stuff.
Yeah,
that was good.
My favorite when I was young.
Yeah, I was really into watching, like, I remember getting like the VHS tapes or like the DVDs of just like best moments of Saturday Night Live and stuff, like of Saturday Night Live that I never like I wouldn't have been able to see it all, you know. So like anything with John Belushi and stuff.
Nice.
Also, there was like a good amount of time where I was just like super into 80s movies, just in general, like The Breakfast Club, like the Brat Pack stuff, just all that. I was really into The Breakfast Club. I wrote a movie that was very similar to The Breakfast Club, but like in modern times when I was like a freshman, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but yeah,
like the lunch club or something.
It was just called Detention, and like we were stuck, and like like there was like the school was like it was like some crazy lockdown facility or something, and like we couldn't get out, and like I forgot exactly what even happened. Like I feel like it was one of those movies where nothing really happened. Yeah. And there was a lot of weird daydream scenes where it was just based off of dreams that I had. Like, it was kind of art house
montage of dreams.
Yeah, it was kind of artsy. Probably wouldn't have been greenlit, you know.
Yeah, I wrote a couple scripts like that too that would be hard to read nowadays. Now that I know a little more about writing and structure and all that.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, I don't even want to think about like the story structure of what it was like, dude.
And then this happens, and then this happens, and then this crazy thing happens.
Yeah, I remember there was like a scene where like this was like before robot chicken was the thing, but I wrote this thing about this robotic chicken like killing everybody, and like not like. Then I was like, yeah, I don't think we can do that anymore, guys. Like,
you know, they make that show like right down the street over here.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably like half a mile from here. It's like right down the street.
No way. That's so sick. Yeah.
That's a rad show.
Yeah, that show was sick. What were like some shows that you really liked growing up?
I mean, as far as animation, people always ask me like, you know, what animated shows inspired me, and
yeah,
I'd say like Simpsons, but you know, we didn't have cable growing up.
Yeah,
like, so I missed out on a lot of stuff. We had cable for 1 year, so my memory of music videos is like that 1 year we had it. It's like Opposites Attract, that music video with the like animated what was it, like a coyote or something?
Oh,
The
yeah.
Paul Abdul one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was a hat.
Or like Aerosmith, Loving an Elevator. Like, it was that year I had it. And then my dad saw the Loving an Elevator music video. I was like, that's it. But yeah, I mean, so I had to like Beavis and Butthead. I only got to watch a handful of times, and I loved it. But it was always at another friend's house, which is also like where I would watch a lot of like horror movies, like Hellraiser scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
Yeah,
Friday the 13th. But as far as like favorite shows, growing up, I mean, probably The Simpsons. I loved Married with Children a lot. But, you know, I didn't watch a ton of animated shows. Even when I was making Mr. Pickles and Mama Named Me Sheriff, I made a point to rarely ever watch other shows because I didn't want to be influenced by them.
Yeah. I feel like that helps you like be more original.
So I would watch more like, you know, like Breaking Bad and True Detective, season 1, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I definitely like crime drama shows.
Same, yeah.
Those are always sick.
Yeah, we were making or writing season 1 of Mr. Pickles, I think, when Breaking Bad came out.
Oh, sick.
So that's kind of like watching that show while we were writing is like what kind of inspired me to have some crazy twists in the end of our seasons. Because it's like, it wasn't a serialized show where it's like, you know, every episode is a chapter of the story. You know, you need to be able to just play any episode at any point in time.
Yeah.
But I would also try to build in these little tiny arcs into a season and then end with a big crazy cliffhanger I didn't know how we would dig ourselves out of. But then we'd deal with that the next season.
That's so sick.
But yeah.
No, that's really awesome. Yeah, I didn't watch Breaking Bad until like way later, until it was done being on TV. I literally like, it was the point where I could just binge it all. And that was so sick. Like I didn't do anything for like a week.
I haven't been able to do that in a while. And, you know, I feel like my attention span keeps getting shorter and shorter. It's like, I mean, I would watch a lot of series when I was storyboarding Mr. Pickles, you know, it would kind of keep me going in the middle of the night.
It's
I got to watch another one. And also I got to get this work done.
Multitasking.
You know, the show I missed out on was The Sopranos.
Yeah.
I, by accident, saw, like, somebody was watching The Sopranos. I was like, oh, I really need to watch this.
Yeah.
Turns out I was watching the last 5 minutes of the last episode.
No.
So that kind of, like, killed my motivation.
Yeah, that sucks. Dude.
But, I mean, I've watched a couple episodes, and I want to get back into it. It's just...
Yeah.
I don't have the time anymore. Especially with like a toddler who
I bet
likes to stay up late, you know.
Oh, that's
if they could make like a Sopranos version for kids, like,
that would be ridiculous. Man, like I don't even know what that would be.
Yeah, I mean, I could catch up on a lot of horror movies. Like whenever there's like chainsaw going into a guy's head, there's like an animated happy sun over it and hearts.
Yeah, everything's fine. Like, they're playing.
I don't know how they're gonna do the strip club in that version of the show, so I'm very curious how that's gonna turn out.
We're not sure either.
There's always got to be a way.
Yeah, they're like, maybe it's like,
look at her balloon.
Yeah, it's like a balloon shop. Like they're just like selling balloons, like candy store.
We always had to find tricky ways to get things through standards and practices.
Oh yeah, how was that?
It's like, man, I wish I had kept all the like notes from standards and practices. They were like, they're so serious, you know, like written like as if it was like a lawyer or something, but it was like, in the scene where Bigfoot is having sex with the possum and the owl and the goat, we cannot show any genitals when he's thrusting, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we used to have those like in our writer's room just to like...
just like put it up on the wall.
But it would be like, usually my way around anything in the woods, whether it was like something that was too violent or usually it was something too sexual, was to just... put a bush over like it was like Bigfoot having sex with an owl.
Yeah.
It's like you just put a bush over where they connect. And you can see like, you can see the front of the owl going like this.
Yeah.
And then you can see Bigfoot going like this, thrusting. So, like, the bush saved the day.
Yeah.
But then I remember there was one thing where, like, there was this character, newspaper boy, and he was always showing up with a newspaper, and there was a scene where Mr. Pickles, to mess with Grandpa, he pushes newspaper boy over onto Grandpa, and like newspaper boy's head goes in Grandpa's crotch or something like that. No. And SMP was like, we can't do this because we don't know if newspaper boy is 18 or not. So my fix for it was, I was like, then let's put the headline on the newspaper boy. Newspaper boy turns 18. And that works.
Oh my God.
It totally works.
That's so great.
That's amazing.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so if you ever see that scene, that's why it says that.
That's why.
But then, from then on, he's 18.
Yeah.
But
that's fucking great.
SMP notes are the best. We love those.
Yeah.
We did a show years ago where there was an episode where there was a lot of vomiting, and it was gross, to be fair. And SMP said that we could not show the vomiting. So the editors tried a few things, nothing worked. So they finally took the literal SMP note, like took a screenshot, and used that as like what was coming out of their mouth. And it worked.
Yeah.
That worked.
It worked.
Yeah,
that
worked.
They accepted that. It literally, you can pause it and it says, we do not like the vomiting. Can you replace it with something else? And they just replaced it with the actual note.
That's amazing.
It was a good time.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun challenge to find ways to get things to fly. And, like, I will say, like, the notes that we got from, the creative side of Adult Swim was always super helpful. Always. I mean, they gave great notes. They made everything stronger and clearer. And, but, like when they would, have an issue with something creatively or story-wise, I wouldn't necessarily ever really just take like whatever their suggestion was. I would try to get to the root of what's bugging them and like come up with my own way or our own way.
Yeah.
And that I think was the best way to go about it, because you could also surprise them with something they weren't thinking and get a laugh out of them, and then it works. But
no, definitely no. No. So, what was it like making the Liquid Death like horror movie like that you guys made? That was sick.
Yeah, it was. It was a lot of rain, unfortunately.
Yeah,
so it was tricky. I remember we had to shoot one of the scenes where, like, in the story, it's like, all right, the campers are just getting to the campsite, and this is like supposed to be like the really positive part of the. This is like right before they take mushrooms and right before cans of water start killing them, right?
Yeah.
So it needs to be like sunny day.
Yeah.
But it's raining and we have to shoot it. Luckily, you couldn't tell it was too much rain, but it was like I had to rewrite a lot of stuff on the fly.
Yeah.
To kind of deal with the rain.
Yeah.
Which was slowing things down a little bit. But man, the crew did an amazing job. David Cruda, the director of photography, was a lifesaver. I mean, he was so great to work with, and the cast was, I mean, really, they made that thing as good as it was. They were so talented and nailed, all their performances, and I still keep in touch with a lot of them. And
oh, fuck yeah.
I just got lunch the other day with Sean, the main guy.
Oh, hell yeah. That's sick.
He plays Tom. But, yeah, it was really fun, and I'm hoping to get back into doing, some kind of live action horror movie. I got some ideas brewing. Just got to find the time to write them up. But, yeah, it was really fun.
Fuck yeah. I just had something.
It was challenging to get the cans of water to kill people.
Yeah, I was actually also wondering about that.
Yeah, I mean, we were going to have the cans of water. The plan originally was to have them be like remote controlled. And that was kind of working on a flat surface.
Yeah,
but then when you're in the middle of the woods and, it's muddy, they weren't working. So we had to kind of attach a long dowel to the can. And then you had like a drill. And we basically put the camera, on a plate and then just run it through these dowels, and we had to VFX all the dowels out.
Oh, okay.
It was really
that's
tricky.
actually really cool.
But we crazy Mr. Pickles story about filming that.
Okay.
So we shot it all in like Amish country in Pennsylvania, and when we were location scouting, first we looked at this other old house.
Yeah.
And it's in the middle of nowhere. A couple houses around, but you're out there in the boonies. And it's all boarded up, and the location manager lets us in. And we go into the place. There's no furniture or anything. Everything's all pretty bare in there. No graffiti. We go upstairs, and I start to walk into this one room, and there's it's guarded by a little snake. It's like coming up out of a vent on the ground. Right in the doorway. I was like, all right. I step over it, and I walk in there, and there on the wall is a spray painted pentagram, and it says Mr. Pickles.
What the fuck?
And I was like, that's strange. I thought the producers were messing with me. I was like, are you guys fucking with me? And they were like, we didn't drive all the way out here, break in here and spray paint that on the wall. So it was very strange.
That's insane.
And so I was like, well, I mean, that's a sign. We got to film here. This is the place. So I storyboarded a lot of the film to that.
Oh, that's sick.
Then it fell through, and we had to go film somewhere else.
Yeah.
It was really weird.
No, that is weird. So do you believe in ghosts?
I've had one potential ghost story or experience. So I think so. Yeah.
What happened?
So when I was a kid, we lived in this old house. It was built in like the 1860s. And I was laying in bed, and suddenly there's this green floating disembodied head in the corner, like staring at me and saying the same sentence in some other language over and over and over. It was like I was laying like right here, and it was like kind of like the corner of the room was right over there.
Yeah.
And it was just pitch black, and it was just this head. I don't know if, it had a body. It was too dark. I couldn't see it. But to me, it looked like a floating head, and it was just looking down at me.
What the fuck?
And I was scared shitless. I remember putting the blanket up over me and holding it up above my chest so it wouldn't see me breathing and think I wasn't there. I was like, I think about 5 years old.
Yeah.
And my memory of it is super vivid. I don't know how long that went on for, but it feels like it was like an hour or something. I don't know.
That's insane.
But eventually I fell asleep. I don't know. And we moved to California shortly after that. And I remember playing in the dirt in the new house where we lived in California. Yeah. And repeating over and over what this thing had said.
Dude,
that creepy?
That's so creepy.
That's
like
creepy.
something that would be in a movie.
Right.
Yeah,
like,
literally.
La, 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 la,
like they
la.
moved, it's still following them. Like, you're like the kid still saying the creepy thing.
Creepy. And that's my last like memory of remembering what it said.
Yeah.
I've wanted to, for a long time, like try like hypnosis.
Yeah. We're trying to get a hypnotist to come on here so I can just quit using nicotine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That worked for me once.
Yeah, did it?
And then I smoked one time after that and
and
never
you're
worked again.
Off the races again. And you're just like,
cold turkey, man. That's how I did that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that.
But anyway,
that's suck.
Yeah, it sucked for like 3 days and then it was done, but yeah.
Nice.
That's my ghost story. What about you?
I mean, I've had a couple instances. Like I've told this one like a million times. So I won't tell that. Maybe I'll tell a condensed version. Well, there was just a couple of different things that happened in my childhood house. Like one time I felt like someone put their hand on my back while I was like taking a shower. And that was fun, creepy. But like I burned a Ouija board and all this stuff happened after that. We did this, but I've been going ghost hunting a lot, like recently, and probably
what does that mean? Going ghost hunting? Like?
Well, essentially it's just like I have gear now that I can like go and like, it's like I used to go ghost hunting when I was younger, like after like probably when I was like 18 or 19, and we would just find like potentially haunted places like that we could go to. and we would go there, but we didn't have any like gear or anything that we could like use to like try to, you know, talk to them or anything. Because I was always into like those ghost hunting like shows and stuff, like, and that was always interesting to me. But I mean, like the only things that really happened like back then was like so there was this one place that had like this really long, it was like an old boys school, and there was this really long,
creepy.
Yeah, there's this really long driveway to go up to, and we had to like park in a different neighborhood so people wouldn't call the police and stuff. And every time we would go there, there was as we were walking up this like a half mile driveway up to this place, and it's all overgrown around us, so it's pretty creepy already. And no one's been in this building for like 10 years or maybe more, I don't know.
Damn.
We're walking up, and every time the first time we went, it sounded like there was a dog behind us, and it scared the shit. We all just started running. None of us like looked behind us or anything, but you could hear like its chain just clanking as it's running, you know. You could hear it like panting, and it's running after us, and we get up to the front of the place, and we don't hear it anymore. It's just gone. We thought it just ran away.
Wow.
And we went back to that place a bunch of times, and every time we would go to that place, that would happen. And then like one of the last times we went there, I looked behind me, and there was literally nothing there. And that scared the shit out of me.
I'm picturing like some old man being like, "Watch out for the dog! It died 400 years ago. It will murder you."
Yeah. It
murdered me.
That's good.
Oh man.
Yeah, there was that. I went to the Colorado Street Bridge in Pasadena, where a bunch of people have like jumped off.
Oh yeah.
I think it's like over 150 people have jumped off the bridge, and that was weird. It was like we had this device called an Ovilus where like it works through environmental changes, and it's like a word bank, so it can say things out loud. You can have like almost like, sometimes it's like straight up conversation. It just depends, like, you know, what's going on, or if there's even anything there, or like what. I mean, I've had both. I've had it just say not really just random things, but I've had it say stuff like a little bit after the fact, or it's been like, sometimes it's like, hey, like, how long have you been here? Then it says an answer, and then it'll just keep talking. But we were
that's interesting.
Yeah, it's really weird. We were up like we went up on top of the bridge, and we went below it as well. And when we were on top of the bridge, there's all these fences and stuff, and there's like locks on it because they don't want people to like jump off anymore. Like, and not that they wanted it to begin with, but they don't want anyone doing that. And it kept telling us to unlock the fence, and so there was that. That was
just
really
do it.
Yeah, it was really ominous. We also
don't think I heard that one before.
Yeah,
that was on Colorado Street.
Yeah,
holy shit.
It was telling us to unlock the fence. And
there's no reason for the lock.
Yeah,
let us out.
And it kept like
we just want to play.
The funny thing is, right before that, we found a key at the bottom, and like we literally found a key on the like in the bushes like down there, and it looks like the key for a lock. We're like, why is this here? And we just kept going. And like, also there was. But the craziest thing about that though was like
there's a crazier thing about that.
Well, no, like just like the place in general when we were there, it was like right when we walked in, it was like things were falling or being thrown around us, like just all around us. And we're like, dude, what is happening? I thought someone was just fucking with us, like, but there literally wasn't anything. There's no one around. And when we're sitting on this bench and we have the device and everything, we're talking to them, and then like it fucking like things just keep fucking falling around us, and it was like really weird. And we couldn't even find anything that was being thrown or anything. Like it was just like things were falling. It was
weird. The old man being like, "Watch out for the dead baseball pitchers."
Yeah. And then like there was speaking of like people that it could possibly be, there was one time it said something about like someone from like the UK. And then we were like, I went home, and like it said something about being an actor. I didn't think anything of it because I thought I was just spouting off random nonsense. And I was like, okay, like, let's turn it off, you know? I go home, I'm, like, Googling just, like, articles to put in the edit of, like, about the bridge. And one of the first articles I click on was, like, some guy from, like, South London that's an actor that jumped off the bridge.
Whoa.
It was really weird. Yeah.
So you talking about those ghost stories reminded me, I do have another
Okay.
ghost story. It's not so crazy, but then there's another thing that happened to my friend you might find interesting. But the other thing that possibly happened to me, I'm not so sure about this, is like the thing that happened to me when I was a kid. But so my favorite movie is The Shining.
Yeah.
And maybe like 6 years ago, we went to the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado.
Okay.
Which is where supposedly Stephen King stayed at the hotel and had some experiences, and he based The Shining off of this one room. And I think Pet Cemetery too.
Yeah.
We had just gotten there. I was there like 5 minutes, and I was downstairs, and they have like a little coffee place where you can get coffee downstairs. And I felt something brush against my leg. And I looked over at my girlfriend, Samantha. I was like, did you just touch my leg? And she was like 4 feet from me.
Yeah.
No. So there was nobody else around. And later, or maybe like the next day, we went on one of the ghost tours that they had there. And I wasn't taking that too seriously. But, I mean, I take some of the stuff with a grain of salt, but I'm super interested in it. Like I tend to mostly believe my own ghost story. But the guy was like, yeah, if you feel something brush against your leg, that's Comanche, a cat that died here a long time ago. If you're somebody who if you're a cat person, it can sense it. And cats tend to like me. And,
that's crazy.
Yeah, so apparently there's a pet cemetery there. I didn't see it, but Comanche's buried there. So I did a painting after that with like a skull and a bunch of cats like jumping through the air.
Yeah.
So if anybody's seen that painting, that's what that's about.
That's super sick. Speaking of like cemeteries, I went to this one. There's a cemetery in where was that at? It's like somewhere. Oh my gosh, I forgot the name of the city. But it's a park now, but they built the park over the cemetery. Like, so there's
poltergeist kind of shit.
So all the bodies are like, well, not all of them. Like some of the families took the people out of there, but there's a lot of people that are still there, and they just have a.
That's messed up.
Yeah, they have like a thing in the front where it just says like the names of the people that are still there, and so the rest is just a park, and that was.
So the graves are gone. And
yeah,
they're
all
covered
the
up.
headstones are gone. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was real. It was really weird. We went there. There was a couple there was some activity. It was like probably like we were asking like how someone died, and it said like violent stab, and then that was kind of creepy. There was like this weird noise that we kept hearing, which we don't know what it was. That was kind of weird, but yeah, no, I mean, like, I don't know, I believe in it. I'm just sort of out there searching, I guess.
Same, yeah. I mean, I had a show idea a while back that I kind of gave up on, but maybe I'll get back to it at some point. But I wanted to animate people's ghost stories.
Yeah.
And I wanted to have my friend on in the pilot episode. I don't know if I'll ever make it, so I'll just tell it here. But
okay.
It would be better if he told the story. But long story short, he was in this old building in Richmond that was like built around the Civil War.
Yeah.
And he says that a ghost had sex with him.
What the fuck?
Like it was like see-through, like he was trying to take a nap on a couch or something.
Like in Ghostbusters, that kind of thing? Or like,
yeah, I think so.
Like
yeah.
a full-bodied apparition.
Did he was it to completion?
Yeah, did he finish? That's what we want to know. Did he come? What happened?
You know, I should really know that.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer to that.
That's like the first thing I thought of.
But,
really?
Yeah, I mean, and you know, when he told me the story, like,
yeah.
I just started laughing so hard. But then he's like, "No, it was
like,
terrifying."
No,
it was like, "Oh shit!" I mean, that really would be terrifying.
Yeah, that would, dude. That would be crazy.
But yeah.
Yeah, that would be so fucked.
I don't know if he was like drunk or high or something, but
yeah,
it sounds like it really freaked him out.
Yeah, no, that sounds wild. Yeah, I'm trying to think if I have any other ghost stories that people told me. I don't know.
This house where I lived at in Richmond with my friend Dave, who I made Mr. Pickles with, we had a roommate. I didn't have any like ghost experiences there, but we had this roommate. One night when Dave came home late at night, our roommate Mike, he was like freaking out. Yeah. He said that he woke up and there was like a couple like right at his face, just kind of like looking at him like this, and he took his pillow and like went to like push them away, and he went through them.
What the fuck?
And then he says he fell back asleep. He was sleeping on his stomach, and then he woke up to something holding him down.
Yeah.
That's like the scariest part about it. And so like he was freaked out, could not go back to sleep. He was in the living room when Dave got home. I wasn't there that night, so it's a secondhand story, but I learned recently, Mike moved out shortly after that, but I learned recently that some people that live there now had the same thing happen.
Oh, no way.
Couple in the room.
That's wild.
By the bed.
That's
Isn't that
super
crazy?
Wild. Dude. That's creepy. That's creepy.
I mean, I just imagine them just like right there.
Yeah. Dude, that would scare the shit out of me, dude. I get scared very easily too. So like, and he like, dude, if anyone was just like, boo, like, like that would scare the shit out of me. Like, I'm very prankable.
The easiest way to scare somebody, I found out, is if you know somebody's about to walk around the corner, like into a door, you just crouch down like this and put your eyes where you think they're going to look down, because they're going to walk in and their eyes are going to be looking down. And the first thing they see is like your head about right here. So anybody who says that they can't be scared, that'll get anybody. It's super simple too. You don't have to say anything. You just smile.
That's amazing.
Try it. It'll work.
Yeah, I'm gonna try that. Oh my god. Yeah, no, dude, jump scares always get me too. Like, oh man, I don't know.
I can't remember the last time I've been scared. Sometimes my 4-year-old son will get me. He's been getting me a little bit.
He starts saying the same thing that you were saying when you were a kid.
Man, that would
be terrifying if that's how it comes back to you.
Man. And then I'm like, oh shit, it was his face I saw. Yeah. I mean, I still wonder, what that thing was saying. I don't rule out either that it could have been a dream. I don't know. But like I do kind of, I think it's reasonable to a point that younger kids might be able to sense things that other people,
definitely.
Older people can't, but who knows,
Yeah, like I've seen different videos online of like just like different, like I was listening to this paranormal podcast or whatever, and they were talking about like they had like a video where their kid was like talking to something like that clearly wasn't there, like that kind of shit's insane.
Actually, yeah, something that reminded me of, my cat, her name was Pickles. She passed away a couple years ago, and my son Apollo was about 2 years old, and he kept saying that Pickle was talking to me last night. Where was she? She was in the lights.
What?
He was saying that the lights were like flickering, and that she was like,
dude,
talking to him.
That's wild.
And she was like, he was saying that Pickle told him things that he would never know, which was like the weirdest thing about
just got chills. Like that shit scares the shit.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
So he doesn't remember that now. Every once in a while I'm like, tell me more. Do you remember? He's like, I don't.
Another, dude, this other time, I totally can't believe I forgot this, but I'm doing stand up somewhere, and they have a sometimes they'll put you in a hotel, or they have like a comedy condo or something, which is what they call it, and they'll like let you stay in this random ass house, and they like said, yeah, someone died in the room that you're gonna be sleeping in, and like I was like, what, dude? Like recently? Or like,
yeah, they're brutally murdered. Blood was everywhere. They exploded, basically.
Yeah, I guess it was the person that owned the house like before, and they died in there. And I was like, "Did you guys change the bed at least?" And I had the ghost gear with me, so I turned it on, and like the first thing it said was bed, and then it like. We went into I went into the bedroom, and then it said I think it said like entered, and then it said like some other weird stuff, like, but also the weirdest thing was like I was just laying in bed, and there was like a little a bathroom attached to the room, so like, but no one else could go in there, and I had my door shut. And my friend Kenny that I was doing stand up with had already gotten to an Uber because he had a different flight. So I was the last person there. And I didn't have a fan on. There wasn't like a flow of like air in the room or anything. And I had the bathroom door just open. And I'm just laying there like, oh, I gotta get up. And then literally the bathroom door just slammed shut. And it scared the shit out of me, dude.
What?
Yeah.
It just slammed shut?
Yeah, it just slammed shut. And then also there was another weird thing that happened there where it sounded like I'm in the living room and my friend Kenny is in the kitchen. And it sounded like someone ripped like the giantest fart in the back room, okay? And Kenny's like, Zach, what the fuck? And I was like, dude, that wasn't me.
Dude, I mean, if I was a ghost, I would be doing that to fuck with people all the time.
Yeah. And he like still doesn't believe me that I didn't fart.
I mean, that would be probably my main thing I'd be doing is just farting all the
time. I ask everyone that comes on the podcast this question.
Not even a segue. He's just going to go right into this from farting ghosts to the question.
Yeah, sorry. We're just farting. We're talking about farting ghosts, dude. Okay. Yeah, like, it's more unnatural now.
I made it worse. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, no, it's worse. I ask everyone that comes on the podcast this question. I ask everyone that comes on the podcast this question. Is there anything that you do every day or like just in your everyday life to make sure you're reaching your maximum potential? I know it's a huge shift from the farting ghost, but like
yeah, I mean the main thing I do is talk about ghost farts. It's always kind of I'm always adding something new to my routine. I've had a lot of anxiety over the years.
Yeah.
And so I'm always trying to find ways to combat that. It's usually like exercise, which I'll be like on and off again. Whenever I'm exercising, that works wonder for anxiety and keeping me motivated and keeping my energy levels up. Meditation did a lot for me.
Yeah.
The last, handful of years. And yoga. And lately, I've been into cold plunging.
I want to get into cold plunging so bad.
Man, I just got one.
Yeah.
I did one right before I came here. It's great.
Oh, dude.
I have one at the house. I live over in Burbank. You're in Burbank. Come over anytime.
I'm so down for
that. I'm like
that.
5 minutes from here.
Yeah, I'm super down for that.
It is so cold.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
Dude, I want to do it so bad. I love the cold.
Didn't we do that as a promo?
I hate it.
Yeah, but not like
an
a
act.
real one. Yeah,
it was like a fake one, right?
Yeah, it was like one of the like really, really cheap ones.
So I was like, I have a vague recollection of you sitting in this tiny little tub full of ice.
Yeah.
Poured slushies on you. That's not really a cold.
Yeah.
So.
I barely fit in it also.
Yeah, I mean, I was doing ice baths a bunch last year, and I thought that was the same thing. And then I got this cold plunge. Put it like 50 degrees, thinking that's kind of a high temperature. So cold.
Dude.
But it goes down to 37, and I'm up to like 2.5 minutes on that. And
nice.
It sucks real bad, but you feel great afterwards. Like,
I've got to try that.
What are the benefits of? Like, I know we've talked about it a few times. But what are the benefits of a cold plunge?
I mean, the main thing. I mean, I'm not the spokesperson for cold plunges, but dopamine. It releases dopamine into your body, and it's very good for inflammation. I get a lot of back pain from like sitting and drawing so much, so it's been helping with that. circulation.
All those are good.
It burns like the bad fat and does something with brown fat. I can't remember, but it's I think you can lose some weight during it, but during cold plunges, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But
I just permanently live in one and like
I just really care about feeling great, you know.
Yeah.
It's like getting older is I got to do more and more work to like you know, be my best, but yeah.
Well, hell yeah, dude. That's fucking sick, dude.
Come by.
Yeah,
Come by.
I am gonna take you
It'll
up on that.
suck, but
I'm gonna call you at like 3 a.m. But
Lock the door, let me in.
Yeah, let me in the cold
Just
blood.
like the ghost.
I was like, dude, why? I'm just gonna be out there saying whatever you said.
man, if I could just find out what it said.
But dude, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
It's been awesome, dude.
This was fun.
Thank you. Is there anything you want to plug?
No, I would say drink liquid death and
Hell yeah.
you know, watch out for ghost farts.
Yeah, drink liquid death. And yeah, dude, thank you so much.
Thank
and
you.
Thanks for watching and stay maximum.